Really do that. Okay, you guys. Oraiba, are you ready? Oraiba, I'm sorry, I messed up already. Um, okay, you guys. I'm so excited for this because Oraiba is in Sam's downline, Samantha Kelly, and every time somebody asks a question about skincare, the answer she gives back blows my mind because I'm like, how do you know? How do you know this? And she just is so knowledgeable. And I joked one time, I said, you're going to have to do a skincare training for us. And then I'm like, okay, now you're doing a skincare training for us, you know? So I'm so excited for this. And we thought we could do like skincare 101 and give you all this like stuff. But then we're like, no, let's talk about what you guys want to talk about. We've been collecting questions and we have them all in an order. So you're definitely going to want to get a pen and paper, like we said. The other thing is that I love that so many people, Greta and Jackie, I don't know if she's on here, but so many people are hair care junkies and are obsessed. That's why they joined this. Well, she's a skincare junkie and she is obsessed watching YouTube and learning all of the things she can from all of the gurus. So I'm really, really excited for everything she has to share. So we're going to break it down into a couple of different sections, but I just want to go over, I'm assuming you guys are all pretty well versed, at least on like the product names and what we have and stuff when it comes to skincare. So let's start with breaking down the 3 lines individually and like who they're for perfectly. And then we'll go to the next. And we're just going to kind of bounce around questions. So I'm ready if you're ready.
Totally ready. Thank you so much for having me on. And can I just say, I'm like so flattered that Lindsay asked me. I look up to her so much. So I'm by no means a medical professional. I hope I don't misspeak, but I try to stay pretty true to skincare as we're providing it. So be gentle for that client, and as somebody providing that service to somebody, be gentle is going to be for most people. If they need to be careful with their skin, if their skin is prone to anything, be gentle is always a safe route. But the Be Gentle moisturizer would be great for somebody with more normal to leaning dry. Just bear that in mind. So it's totally okay to kind of take pieces from here and there and mix and match together, because the Be Balance cleanser might be great for somebody, but the moisturizer might be too much. So gentle, very hydrating, soft, very easy on the skin in general. Be balanced, just for that, for somebody who needs to find balance, right? So whether they have dry out here, oily in the center, whether they have patches going on, whether they are somebody who's like, well, I bounce back and forth, there you go. They need balance. We got it for you. And the Be Gentle moisturizer is just one of those foolproof. For somebody who's like, I don't like a heavy moisturizer, it's a great go-to. It's also more of a gel-like consistency. So the Be Balance. Oh my God, I'm mixing it all up. The Be Balance moisturizer is more of a gel-like consistency. It's lighter. It just feels a little more cooling. Even if you're doing like a Monate, it's one of those things you put it on their hand and they're like, oh my gosh, it's gone, where'd it go? The Be Gentle moisturizer is very emollient. Not as emollient as the Night Haven, but it's very emollient, very comforting. Put that on the hand of somebody who is more on the drier side, more on the mature side. Be balanced, throw that onto a new mom. They need something quick and easy. Let's get you out the door. And then Be Purified. I don't have oily skin, and can I tell you, I am so excited about this line because it has so many answers. So I want to actually start off with the mask, because I feel like the mask is so universal. I'm somebody with pretty normal skin, and I don't live in a very extreme climate. So in the winter, I get a little more drier. In the summer, I get a little more oily. But by no means am I constantly one thing or the other. I'm pretty normal. I threw on the mask last night, and I loved it too. So the mask is just a great clean up the pores, refine the texture, and it helps a lot with bringing stuff to the surface as well, which we'll talk to a little bit later. But the mask is amazing. The Be Purified moisturizer, once again, going back to like that gel-like consistency, but this one is oil-free. So if you guys have anybody with any sort of sensitivity to oils, breakouts, scared of trying a product, like, oh my gosh, no, I hate everything. I want it to be on my skin. I don't want to feel it. The moisturizer not only is lightweight, it also dries down to a matte finish. So if you didn't get a chance to pick it up, that's perfectly fine. I'll tell you that just a little on the back of your hand, you put it, like you rub it in and literally like you cannot tell in terms of like look which one has moisturizer on, but when you touch, you'll get that little bit of like springy action back, and it'll tell you like, this is hydrated, this is good. So underneath makeup, if somebody's looking for a moisturizer, like a good daytime one, this would totally work for them. It's just a great moisturizer in my opinion. It can work out for so many people, but moral of the story is lightweight, oil-free, works in a bunch of different scenarios. Cleanser. Now the cleanser I feel like is a little more targeted. It's gonna be for somebody who has skin that's producing a lot of oils on its own, because it can be a little drying. Okay. If you have somebody who's a teenager dealing with a lot of this action right here in the T-zone, yes. If you have somebody who's like, look, I already cleansed my skin with the Makeup Vanishing Balm, and I need a second cleanse to maybe take off that film, go in with a deeper cleanse. Yes, absolutely. But if somebody wants to go in with this morning and night, let's just be a little more mindful of what their skin's truly like. Just like with oily scalp, oily skin as well. Sometimes it can be a symptom of drier skin. Okay, so please be wary of that as well. Sometimes people aren't moisturizing at all, and here they are going, oh my gosh, my skin is so oily, it's doing this, it's doing that. Well, it's like, okay, well, what are you currently doing to it? You know, so let's just make sure we ask those questions as well. Oily in terms of oil production, how often is it happening? Ask those questions, you know. And like for me, I'm more of a skincare person. I don't know much about hair, but I would tell you, do what you would do if you were wary with the hair client, right? So if I don't know anything about their skin and I'm trying to think, okay, where can I place you? Ask them, what kind of a cleanser do you prefer? Do you like something that's a little bit softer? Do you like something with a higher lather, more cleansing? What kind of a moisturizer do you like? Are you okay with a little bit of extra hydration? Do you want it to have a matte finish? Are you looking for something more lightweight, gel-based? They'll give you the answers, and that will help you kind of navigate as well. I saw a question. Does a Be Purified set have AHAs in it? As far as I know, the cleanser does, and that's why I say please be wary who you recommend it to. Skin that is constantly producing oil can generally heal itself a little bit faster than skin that's going to be drier. So the AHAs actually are going to be okay for that person that has that higher oil production. So the Be Purified cleanser, as far as I know, does have AHAs. I have not seen it in any of the other products, but I could be wrong. I have a VIP who has an allergic reaction to the essence, but could benefit from Be Purified, I think. Okay, so when we're talking allergic reaction, ask them, what do you think happened? Is there an ingredient that you know that you are allergic to? When you were applying it, were your hands clean? I mean, we think this would be common sense, right? But sometimes wash your face, you go change a diaper, now you're back and you're trying to complete your, nighttime routine or whatever it may be, where your hair is clean. Sometimes, I mean, life gets crazy, right? Some of us work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and some of our clients are doing that same thing too. We're in the middle of cooking, where they like, I don't know, cutting up some peppers, and all of a sudden they're trying to apply their essence. Like, we don't know what happened. So ask them the questions. If they don't know what's going on and they just want to steer clear, then I would not do Be Purified, because it can be so specific to skin. I would go Be Gentle, because Be Gentle is just like my fail proof. If I don't know what to give you, let's lean that way, and then we'll go from there. You tell me if that was too hydrating, too emollient, and we'll do it that way. Is there some fruit extract in there? She thinks she's allergic to it. So our skincare is a combination of plant and fruit-based skincare. So if there's an enzyme, for example, pineapples give off enzymes. Papaya contains enzymes as well. So if they're using, let's say, like the berry scrub, that's full of enzymes. If they don't do well with enzymes, steer clear of that. Yes, if they are sensitive to using any sort of fruit in their skin, anything that has more of an acid, stay away from your vitamin C, stay away from, I would say in that sense, maybe the essence and the cleanser, maybe suggest moisturizer, maybe have them look into the Rejuvenate oil as kind of like something you can just lock everything else in with. We have a bunch of different options that we can offer. You could offer something like the bakuchiol. Bakuchiol is actually a plant. It comes from the plant called the bakuchi, and it essentially like looks like mint. Like, I know, horrible, horrible, right? But this is how I'm showing you. Yes, I'm showing you on my phone. It essentially is a plant, right? So it comes from the plant. It might be a solution to something else. So go full circle, you know, keep that conversation going. Just because one thing doesn't work out, who cares? We have so much more.
I
Sorry,
love that. That was
long-winded
also good.
answer.
No, that was also good. Let's touch on purging. And I don't want everyone to get like overwhelmed and think that this is going to happen on everyone. So that's why we're just going to touch on it quickly and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So just like I told you, Lindsay, purging may or may not happen. Purging may or may not be real. Here's the deal. If you have somebody who hasn't really used active ingredients, good quality skincare, whatever line it may be, and all of a sudden they're jumping in from a very gentle basic cleanser, moisturizer routine, and maybe not even that, to an active line, whether it's ours or anybody else's, their skin could have a freak out movement. It's very much possible. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by purging? Redness to the skin, feeling like there's like bumps coming up to the surface, maybe a little bit of like an itchiness reaction while your skin kind of balances out. It is possible, but here's the thing. There's so much else that goes on in our lives that we can't just say skincare caused it. Our skin, you know, it reacts to the food that we eat, the amount of stress that we're in, the environment that we're in. I mean, let me give you an example. I was once upon a time working at a makeup counter that also sold skincare, but I also worked part-time at a hookah lounge. And I was using good skincare and all that was good, but the coal in my environment, I had so much debris on my face that constantly I was battling like blackheads and congested pores. So environment can also play a huge impact on what is going on. We don't know everybody's ins and outs, you know, so question after question, that might give you the answer. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Purging, yes. So it may or may not be the thing. It may or may not be a thing. You also want to be in tune with, are you using just Monat? Are you introducing a specific product? Is this a reaction versus a purge? Are we okay with it, or is it becoming intolerable? It's just such a fine line. You don't really know until you know. So ask your people questions before you say, oh, your skin's purging. Because it could be something as silly as, did you wash your face before you moisturized?
Wow, I love that you make it that simple, because if we kind of, I think, freak out when somebody's breaking out, but like I myself broke out because I wasn't using good stuff, right? So I love that. And it always passes. Okay, let's talk about acne, and let me just throw it out there. And let's go into rosacea. But I'm going to say, you guys, we cannot make medical claims. So don't ever be like, oh, this fixes rosacea. Fixes psoriasis. Like, we can get shut down for that. So be careful with that. But let's do acne, then rosacea.
Okay, yeah. So just to kind of tag off of that, Lindsay, anytime I'm assisting a client with an issue, whether it's acne, dry scalp, whatever it may be, I like to say something like, this might help you with, this might aid you in your search of, rather than saying, this is what you need for eczema, you know, because that's it. It may or may not work, you know, and that's everything. So, acne can be caused by so many different things. I had amazing clear skin, did not think acne was caused by anything until I turned 21, and then I've had the last decade of beautiful adult acne. So when you're dealing with most of our clientele, women who are working, have their own money, you're dealing with adult women. Hormonal acne is a thing. It's not because these women don't take care of their skin. It's not because these women don't have good hygiene or don't have a healthy lifestyle. It's primarily hormones. How can you tell if acne is hormonal just off the bat? Visually, it's going to be right here in the bottom 1/3 of your face. This is where you're going to see your hormonal acne. And it also might be kind of like in this lower cheek region as well, that kind of goes into it. If your client is dealing with acne that is not hormonal, it's congested skin, maybe it's skin that's not being cleansed enough, that might need higher amount of exfoliation, because that also can turn into acne. Just imagine dead skin cell upon dead skin cell upon dead skin cell, and all of a sudden you have a lump, right? So that's going to be right here. So think T-zone going into the nose right next to here. You know when you see enlarged pores and you're like, I need to do a mask? If a mask can fix it, that's congestion, okay? So right along here, that's going to be acne. That's more of just debris. It's something that needs to be clean, needs to be removed. A scrub, a mask, and all that good stuff can probably take care of it. Then you have acne that's going to be not hormonal, but could be cystic. It could just be your beautiful teenage acne. Once again, these kids are not dirty kids. They aren't necessarily kids who don't look after themselves. They're probably doing just fine. It's just their hormones. When I say it's not hormonal acne, I mean like, in the female cycle. Teenage acne, we're just going to call it teenage acne because there's much more to it, but it's more having to do with sebum production. So once again, you can kind of curb that with products. You can't solve it. And make sure you're letting your people know that as well. We can improve the situation. I can't clear up your skin because, well, number one, I'm not a medical professional. I don't know what's going on. I can kind of treat the symptoms, if you will. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see I recently just did a reel with our new Be Purified line. My niece, she deals with just good old teenage acne right now, but she also does, sports, like she's in dance, she does this and that, the other. So she's over, we had her try the Be Purified line, and I kid you not, like 80% of her skin cleared up in 2 days. But the 20% that's not really budging, that's for you to kind of understand, like, look, this isn't congestion that we're cleaning up. Maybe this is something else. So with that, let's not be aggressive. Skin doesn't like aggression. Acne in general doesn't like aggression. If you talk to any dermatologist, they'll tell you to start off with a gentle cleanser and a gentle moisturizer. Because I feel like a lot of people with acne, they try to go in and they try to do so much. A lot of times just kind of stepping away might be the better bet. Best line for teenage acne, I have one on Be Gentle, wondering if I should switch him. I would ask them how they're feeling about it. How do you like it? Do you feel like your cleanser is giving you enough of a clean? Or do you feel like even after you cleanse your skin and you've, patted your skin down or whatever it may be, you could go in with a little bit more? Because if they're telling you that their skin probably could handle that, put them on the Be Purified cleanser. The Be Purified moisturizer, like I told you, I already have like a love obsession thing going on with it. So the moisturizer, just off the bat, yes. Cleanser, ask them about it. Ask them what they want to do. Mask, yeah. Essence, why not? But the essence, remember, it's more hyaluronic acid based. So teenage acne, do they need that? You be the judge. Sometimes you're dealing with acne and are also looking for anti-aging. So you be the judge.
I love that. That's helpful. I'm already at 2 pages of notes, so I don't really know how this is going to continue. But all right, let's go into rosacea.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not a medical professional, but this is what I tell you. When I look at skin that has rosacea, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of skin with eczema with it as well, because the symptoms can be similar, but they are 2 different things. It looks like angry skin. It doesn't look like skin that's happy. So do you want to rub and scrub and do all that to skin that's already not happy? No. Be gentle, be kind to it, don't do too much to it, steer away from scrubs until they tell you that they may be interested, or maybe offer it and ask them, hey, look, I am afraid to recommend this to you just because of XYZ. If you have a sample, sample them, see how it goes. Let them know, I don't know, but I need you to tell me how resilient your skin is becoming with our products. Just be kind, be gentle. When in doubt, just go back to be gentle.
That's, I think, the theme of the night is that we have to be gentle with our skin. I mean,
with the skin, right? The way it's broken down, you have that top layer and then you have that chunky middle layer. The top layer, it's actually a pretty thin layer. And this just kind of tells us what's going on down here. It's kind of like an earthquake. There's much more happening here. All you feel is a little bit of shaking up here, right? So we want to protect the integrity of this layer right here because we don't want anything to happen here. There's already enough happening here. We want to keep that, ensure that top layer needs to be solid.
I love that. Gosh, this is so freaking good. Okay. Next up is how to start someone on a skincare routine. And if you guys have questions, put them in there, but we have so many questions. So we're going to have to go through all the ones we have and then we'll come back around if we can at the end. How to start someone with a new skincare routine. Are you recommending them get like this and this and this and this? Or are you being like, just start with the routine, which is already a pre-bundle that has 4 in it, which by the way, you guys, real quick tip, the bundle of the routine is fills an active line. It's over 200 PV, so that's pretty crazy. But so how to recommend what just to get somebody started, and are you getting them on everything? Are you incorporating as you're going? And then also if someone was on a budget, what would you recommend?
So talk to them like a friend. How would you recommend something to a friend? Ask them what their favorite product in their skincare regimen already is. What is that one product that they're not going to give up? If they already tell you that they like a cleanser and they're not going to switch from it, don't even try. Okay. And as that conversation goes on, they'll tell you, I love this, but this is something I'm really not happy with. I'll tell you what, I haven't found a sunscreen that doesn't XYZ. They'll go right into it. Ask them what is it about their skincare routine they're absolutely in love with. That'll tell you right off the bat, I don't need to waste my time talking about this, and I don't need to waste my time talking about this. But let's say, just moving off of let's say they like their cleanser. Do you have a toner that you love? What are you hoping to achieve from your toner? If hydration pops in there, plumping pops in there, there you go. You already know what to add in. If you have somebody that says, I'm pretty okay with my staples, but it's my serums, it's my masks, I feel like I need something to elevate my game. There you go. You know what to add based on what this person tells you. I feel like sometimes we make assumptions. I'll have a conversation with someone just looking at their face. It's so gorgeous. And they're always put together and be like, oh my gosh, what do you use? And then here they come to tell you they're just like on oil of Olay and they're okay. And then they don't really want to try anything. And you're like, okay, all right. And then here you have somebody else telling you, I'm using this medical grade and this prescription, this. And so talk to them, and I just start the conversation off with literally, I don't want to assume, so don't mind me asking. There you go.
I love that. And then if they're on a budget, ask them how much they want to spend, right? And then kind of go from there. And then maybe they can. So it's all about asking. We do this with hair too, but I don't know why it's
I'm
paralyzing me over here.
Never a hair care person. So for me, I always like shredded very carefully, even with the hair care world. What do you like? What's not working? So when it comes to skincare, anytime I'm stuck, I'm like, oh, okay, what would I do? What would I do? Okay, let me just ask.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And then really quick, Gloria, we're going to get to your question. You did not miss it yet. Okay. Specific skin questions. Let's talk about this. This is a really good question. And it might just be the ingredients, but what is the difference between Monate and other anti-aging? Like what sets us apart between other lines?
Well, we love money because we love money. We're always going to be biased. But here's the reality of the fact. There are a lot of great skincare lines out there. Okay. Back in the day, and I want to rewind to even like 6 years ago, it was not easy to put your hands on medical grade skincare. And by medical grade skincare, I mean skincare that's truly going to make a visual difference. A lot of times, if you're using something from your drugstore, whatever it may be, if you have a pretty good skincare routine, you're just playing mind games with yourself. You're looking in the mirror going, do I see my wrinkles reducing? Is it firmer? What's happening? It's really not going to be making a huge difference. Medical grade skincare is going to be skincare that used to be authorized by medical professionals to use in maintenance of what people may be getting done at a spa. It doesn't have prescription strength ingredients because once again, you only get that with a prescription. But it was there to kind of maintain the results, if you will. So since then, skincare has come a long way. We have some great skincare brands out there. Is there a better cleanser than ours? Well, if it works better for you than our cleanser, then maybe yeah. But what I can tell you is when it comes to ingredients that are hard to source and hard to take care of, vitamin C being like one of the top ones up there. It's just such a hard ingredient to grab a quality product and then stabilize it so it doesn't go bad. We've done a great job of finding a potent vitamin C, keeping it stable, keeping it on the shelf for more than 6 months. A lot of brands can't do that. So when it comes to like niche ingredients like that, we're doing great. We're amazing. We're up there. Bakuchiol. Why would we introduce Bakuchiol rather than a retinol? Because retinol doesn't work for everybody. Okay, Bakuchiol is a product that I can offer everybody. So it's more of a yes. I can say yes to so much more money than I can to some of the harsher ingredients. That's what I would say to that.
I like that. And then comparing to other stuff, what about our sunscreen? What makes it unique?
Just like you would be talking to your friend. Do you need to wear sunscreen? Yes. Is it good for you? Yes. Does it need to be broad spectrum, UVA as well as UVB protection? Yes. But how many people love their sunscreen? I'll wait. I mean, we love it now, but most people will tell you that they're not excited about putting on their sunscreen. If you don't love your sunscreen, here's the harsh truth. You're just not going to put it on. You're just not gonna put it on because you're gonna be looking at the bottle going, oh, do I really want you on my face? You're gonna mess up my makeup. People don't need to, see me looking like I'm wearing the wrong color foundation. So what makes our sunscreen great is number one, it is lightweight. It is not sticky, dragging, you trying to move it around, you're old school. It's not like that. It's not white. For anybody that has a little bit of melanin in them, I'll call myself out. It doesn't make you look ashy. I can put it on and I can run and get my kids. I don't have to throw on a powder. I'll still look human. So that's really important to a lot of people. And then the finish. It's not a dewy finish and it's not a matte finish. So somebody with normal skin like mine, if you give me a sunscreen with a matte finish, I'm not gonna like it because it's gonna cling on to any dry patches. And if you have somebody with oilier skin, they're not going to appreciate a sunscreen with a dewy finish because it's just going to increase that whole shiny look. So having something neutral, having something that kind of mimics the glow of skin is essential.
I love that. Okay, next up is what everyone wants to know. Does C Radiance fade blemishes or dark spots? And then let me make sure I touch on scars, marks on face.
So what is C Radiance? Essentially, the biggest active ingredient is vitamin C. It's in the title. Vitamin C does so much. And if you get a chance, pop on over to my Instagram. I did a quick little reel experiment on there if you haven't seen it already. I took an apple, sliced it in half, and then took that apple, half of it, I applied C Radiance to it. The other half, I did not. And that I feel like will give you the best visual description that I can give you, but in words. It keeps your skin looking plumper. It keeps your skin looking hydrated. It's going to help you age gracefully. It's going to help your skin fight whatever it can fight. There's a lot happening down under that we can't control. Aging, elastin, collagen decreasing, and all of that. But there's a lot up here that is affecting our skin. What if you put on sunscreen, you were out there, and it's not working anymore for you? Because if you sweat and you rub off that sunscreen, it's not working for you anymore. Free radicals are going to attack your skin. And free radicals, the best way to describe free radicals, like the biggest purpose of vitamin C, is just the way you would see an apple oxidize. Have you ever chopped up an apple, stick it in your kid's lunchbox, open it up at lunch and go, ew, I'm not eating that? That's exactly it. So all of that can be affecting your skin, but with the use of vitamin C, things like hyperpigmentation, things like firmness in the skin, elasticity, or the best way I feel like to describe it is, have you ever touched your skin after using vitamin C and done kind of like a bounce test? If you do that, vitamin C is always going to give you that extra like trampoline bounce versus just like a regular bounce. That's what vitamin C does. It goes in and kind of charges everything, in my opinion. When your skin is charged, it's energetic, it's working at its optimum pace, it's going to do everything better as well, right? Your skin naturally as a child fades away dark spots. So when it's doing well later on in life, it's also going to do that. So it's going to do most things that younger skin does.
Awesome. When we kind of probably already touched on this, but let's just go over it just in case. And then after this, we're going to move into application questions, like how to apply. I'm really excited for that. So, and like, by the way, just so, because I will be like, oh, remember to say this, and I won't. If you need a layering guide of like what order to put things on, that's in the back office for hair and skin. So when it comes to that side of things, just use that. Okay, is Be Gentle more moisturizing than Be Balanced?
I
It might
feel,
depend. Does it depend on the cleanser and moisturizer?
I guess it depends on like the client as well. I'll give you an example. When I use Be Gentle cleanser, it feels very hydrating, very velvety and nice to me, but I don't get much of a lathery foam. I get more of like a creamy foam. So to me, I feel like, well, yeah, you're hydrating, but maybe I could use a little more cleansing. So I then go into Be Balanced. If you ask me, is Be Balanced hydrating enough? Well, yeah, I still get that foaminess. I still get all that latheriness. I'm not left stripped or dry. So to me, both are moisturizing, both are hydrating. It depends on your client. It could be enough for some, it could be not enough for others. It just depends on what your client tells you. I ask people all the time, what kind of a cleanser do you like? Do you like low lather, high lather? Do you want to feel stripped after and ready to put on your products? Or do you want to feel nice and calm and just hydrated and ready to go with like a really low key routine? What do you want to do?
I love that. That tends to be the answer. And I think that's probably gonna be the answer for the next one, which is, so we're going into well, maybe whatever. Okay, whatever. Are the products foolproof? Like, as long as you use it, you're good, or are there specific techniques to get the best results? Which I'm sure there are specific techniques which you can touch on, but like in general, like if you don't know anything about skincare, can you start with the routine? Do you need like to know anything?
I tell people the same thing I do about hair care, less is more. Imagine when you sample somebody with like one of those hair care packets and you're looking at that sample, and if you actually sit there with like a consumer mindset, like the first time I got my sample, I was like, girl, this is not going to wash my hair. Like, let's just be real, this is just not going to do it. But I didn't realize how much it would emulsify. I didn't realize what the process would be. Same thing with the cleanser. After grabbing the product and using it and understanding how concentrated it was, a sample packet lasted me of the cleanser lasted me like 6 washes. So you need the tiniest, itty bittiest, add that into your hand, emulsify it, and then go right into your face. Don't waste too much time doing this number, whether you're doing it with your moisturizer or your cleanser, because all you're doing is rubbing it into your hands. Okay, so we're doing this real quick. Start, see the color moving. Let's go. We're going to start cleansing. Same thing with the moisturizer. You don't need a lot. Moisturizer is one of the very last steps in your skincare. All the stuff that was going to probably penetrate your skin is in. Let's just be honest, okay? So moisturizer is just there to seal everything. You don't need a thick layer, just something in there to make you feel good, and we're moving along. Little is more. The only things I would steer clear of, Rewind. Rewind is a pretty potent serum. It's probably like, in terms of medical grade skincare that is out there, this one's one of the ones that can do a lot of damage if you use it wrong. Rewind is a combination of AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids, along with vitamin C. These 2 products don't work for everybody. Some skin cannot tolerate this even on a nightly basis. I know, God forbid, some people use this twice a day. That I don't understand, but sometimes your client might need to ease into it. Try it once a week. Try it as like a weekly treatment. That is something to be careful with. If your client has an allergy to vitamin C products, steer clear of vitamin C. If your client tells you they don't do well with plant-based products, skip through bakuchiol type of deal. I know I say ask your client a lot, but I like to give examples, because I feel like back in the day when I was getting started, people didn't give me examples on how am I supposed to ask these questions. So ask your customer, what are they comfortable using? What have they used? What do they not like using? And they'll tell you, and if your customer is very happy with cleansers, well, maybe you don't need to dictate them so much. But if they tell you, hey, I really don't like moisturizers, they're so heavy, yada, 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 guide them into it. You're going to use Be Purify. You're going to use a pea-sized amount, and you're going to call me tomorrow morning.
I love that even though you're using the example of ask your client, you're still giving us so much in the process. So it's not like you're like just saying that, you're giving us so much and even wording for
A
it.
broken record here. I'm like, hopefully.
No, I know, I get that. But no, you're doing like you're helping us so much. Okay, so whenever you're applying the products, and it might be a mix and match answer, but do you have to wait for the stuff to dry before you apply the next stuff? Are you waiting for it to fully dry? And then at what step can you incorporate a roller? It says like the Rodan and Fields one. Is that like a normal roller or is that like a weird roller?
Facial roller, yeah.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
So
You
let
could
me
do
re-ask
rollers,
it.
you could do gua sha, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so do you have to wait for the products to dry before you layer? And then when can you use the roller?
Okay, so skincare, think of it like you're eating a meal. Okay, appetizer, main course, dessert, if you will. Okay, you want to eat the stuff that's good for you first, right? And then you want to maybe kind of top it off with like the others, the ice cream and all that. You want to put the good stuff down first. And then you want to start layering on top with like things like your moisturizer and things like that. So do you need to wait for your essence to dry and then your serums to dry? No, but let me tell you a couple things that I just know because I've touched that many faces and I've done that many bad experiments. Okay. If your skin is too wet and it's too moist after you've cleansed your skin and you've toned your skin, I don't care what kind of a serum you put on. I don't care what kind of moisturizer you're going to put on. It's going to feel like it's like peeling off. It's going to feel slimy. It's going to be too much. So after you cleanse your skin, pat dry. When you're applying your essence, use the right amount, tap it into your skin. If your skin feels like, you know what, maybe I'm a little drippy, give it a second, okay? Use kind of like common sense with that. Now, let's say you did everything right. You threw on your serums, you did your moisturizer. That's a lot of layers. Think about it. You got your essence, maybe 1 or 2 serums, and then you got a moisturizer, okay? That's about 4 layers. If you throw on a sunscreen, because it's one of those products that needs like a rubbing action, you're gonna notice, I don't care what kind of skincare you use, it's gonna start peeling off once again. So you should leave a little bit of time between your moisturizer and your sunscreen, but everything else, have at it. Because sunscreen, it could be the last step in your skincare, but it could also be the first step in your makeup. Okay, so kind of bear that in mind. I tell people this all the time. Put on your moisturizer, finish your skincare routine, make yourself a cup of coffee. Walk back, start your makeup with sunscreen. You know, it just gives you a couple minutes. And that's pretty much it. I mean, just using our products for long enough. I don't really feel like you need to wait for like essence to dry to go into C Radiance. It's eventually is gonna all, you know.
That makes it simple. Okay, so 30-second miracle. I don't know if anyone else agrees. This is a really good question because I feel like so many people have problems with it. Like
Yeah.
you have to shake it. There's something to shaking it. There's something to applying it lightly. I don't know about the white stuff. Like tell us
Oh,
anything you know about 30-second miracle.
sorry, Nina. I didn't address the question about the roller. So the
Yeah,
roller
yeah, yeah. Oops.
is all about you. You can use a facial roller, like for example, if you're in a spa and they're doing your face. Let's say they cleanse your skin. They might just go in right there, throw on a light serum, maybe an oil even, and kind of use the roller to give you more of a massage. If you're using it in that sense, well, you could do it any time of day, right? If you're using the roller just to kind of give you a little bit of contouring to work your serums in, you could do that at like your serum stage right before your moisturizer. You could do it at your moisturizer stage. You just need a little bit of slip to get that roller going. The only thing I have with rollers is this. If you just put it on and you just rolled it off, what just happened? So I tell people, give it a second, rub it into your skin. And if you know, okay, tonight I'm doing my roller routine, take a couple more drops of whatever serum, whatever moisturizer, dabble that on, and then that's gonna be what you're gonna be using to roll your face with. So that's the only thing. Do roller, whatever you want. Make sure you use something to give it a little bit of slippage, but just make sure you're not wiping that right off.
That's a good fact that I would have never.
Sorry, I like interrupted your question to
No,
answer.
you're good because I interrupted your answer and didn't let you answer the second one. Okay, so 30-second miracle.
Okay, 30-second miracle is the product that I take to my Meet My Mates. I also love to take this product to people who are my naysayers, my haters, people who are waiting for me to fail. Yeah, let's go. So 30-second miracle. Yes, give it a shake. Okay. As you're shaking it, I don't know what's in it, but all I do know is if I shake it, the minute I release my finger from up top of it or remove the cap or whatever it may be, it has an energy of its own. It almost wants to kind of spew out. Okay. So give it a quick shake and wait for it to spew out. Okay. Do it on the back of your hand. Work off of the back of your hand. Do not go from bottle to finger to face. Don't do that. Back of your hand is what you're going to do, because I just feel like I love the product. Just the way it's dispensed is a little too much. Once it's on the back of your hand, you're going to use your ring finger. Your ring finger is going to be a finger you guys are going to get very comfortable with using in skincare, because it is the finger in your hand that provides the least amount of pressure. So your pinky actually has more energy in it than your ring finger does. You're going to use this finger to gently tap it on to your finger. Okay. How much should it be? Well, a gentle tap. You don't want it to be drenched. You don't want there to be hardly anywhere. You're like, okay, is it on there? Is it on there? Am I going to feel it? Okay, just a little. And then you're going to start tapping it in. You're going to work outwards towards inwards. Why do I say that? And anytime you're doing your eye cream, same idea. Outwards, inwards, not inwards, outwards. Even though inwards, outwards looks a lot prettier, you might be causing more wrinkles because you're pulling on the skin. This skin's already been tugged out, so we're just gonna gently roll it in. You're gonna take your finger, you're just gonna pat it in. And you can go back and forth, but essentially when you're starting, you wanna start off right here, you're gonna work it in. And I also have my clients like look up while they're doing it so I can get it right into the creases as well. And sometimes I'll take that and I'll go right into my eye cream, because even though the 30-second miracle is a great just thing that you can firm the skin with. I mean, I'm talking the 11s, your crow's feet underneath the eyes, your marionette lines. You could do all that. If you use too much, if you don't work fast enough, it can leave a little bit of a white cast almost. So the best way to make it foolproof is the minute I get done and I start it like feeling like a little tacky, I just go in with my eye cream and just tap, 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 tap right in. So now I'm firm, I'm moisturized, I'm ready to go, I'm primed for makeup. You could do whatever you want with it. But if you're at a meet money, the minute you have that on the back of your hand, just be like, all right, give me your hands. And do it right here. So like if you make a fist right there, you'll see a bunch of different lines right there. Do a fist test. So do it in this area of the skin right there and be like, okay, check out this side, check out this side. What do you see? You can also do it, I feel like a lot of us have like really, I don't know, at least I do, a lot of prominent pores on this side of the back of my hand. I'll use a lot of products like, whenever you're trying to prove to somebody that this can reduce the look of pores or whatever it may be, use it on the back of your hand right here. Your pores are pretty prominent there. So use what you got. That's what I would say. Or do one eye, don't do the other eye. Play with it. Once you're comfortable using it on your face, it's going to be a no-brainer doing it on other people.
That's very true. That's with all the products. That's such a good point. Okay, so let's talk about, say it. Bakuchiol? I know how to spell it. I can't say it. How do you say it?
1 second. I see a question by Gloria.
Oh, what is it?
You can put the 30-second on your forehead wrinkles. Yes, 30-second goes, I don't know exactly what's in back office, so I'm not going to say something I'm not supposed to say. I'll tell you what I've done. So do as I say, not as I do. Read the back office stuff first and the compliance stuff first. However, this is what I've done. I've done it underneath the eyes. I've done it around the marionette lines. I've done it for people at the 11s right there. I've done it on the crow's feet area. I also do something else that's a little cheeky. You can do this with other people as well. Take a little bit, mix it in with your moisturizer, and then do almost like an upward motion and then massage it into your face. So you have like a mini firming primer on, and then you go in with your makeup. Just be careful though. You gotta use the tiniest bit, because if you're rubbing foundation over that and white cast comes through, you might hate me. So be careful, work with it, you'll perfect it. Rodan & Fields roller has all those little needles in it. Okay, so if we're talking needle roller versus smooth jade roller, those are two different things. A needle roller is going to be something used for micro needling. You don't want to do that generally in conjunction with your skincare. Here's the reason why. When you're making holes in your face, essentially that's what we're doing, and you're causing damage to your face, You don't want any active ingredients going down into the deeper layer of the skin. Remember we talked about that top layer we want to keep it stable. That down there layer, we want to protect it. When I'm making holes up here to kind of signal my skin to say, hey guys, wake up, let's go. We got to do a lot of healing here. Sending collagen, sending elastin with my needle roller. I don't want vitamin C up here. I don't want any moisture up here. I don't want anything that can clog a pore, hurt a skin, or anything. So most of those treatments generally are just done on clean skin. Just either freshly clean skin. I know some people do it on dry skin. That is not something you want to do mixed in with skincare. The roller I was talking about previously is like a smooth rose quartz jade roller, done more for contouring the face, think gua sha status. We're not talking microneedling.
That's a good difference because I did not know there was a difference. Okay, bakuchiol, is that how you say it? Oh, okay. Okay, who should use it?
So confusing, or it just looks so confusing. So I just kind of like blurt it out like bakuchiol. Like I kind of
That's what I've been doing. And I'm like, ah. Okay, so who should use it? How often? And when is it applied? I know that it works well with rewind, like they are friends, right? So, okay, so who should use it? How often? And when is it applied?
Okay, so to understand bakuchiol, we're gonna have to kind of rewind a little and go into what is vitamin A. Vitamin A back in the day used to be used for burn victims. And what it was used for was to regenerate skin. So now let's fast forward this into skincare. As we get older, our skin cells that used to communicate really fast when we were little kids, we'd get a cut, next day it's gone. We're older. We've had this cut for like a week now. It's not going away. It's because our skin cells don't talk to each other as fast as they used to. You add in a little bit of vitamin A, it starts sprinkling in. Over the cycle of your skin starts communicating faster. So when your skin is communicating faster, it's turning over faster. So your skin looks fresher, more exfoliated constantly. It's gonna also look like it's more bouncier. You're gonna see fewer wrinkles because the collagen process is going through a little bit faster. It's just gonna be overall more youthful skin. So when people say, well, Retin-A, your retinols, your bakuchiol is gonna give you younger looking skin, that's what they're talking about. Skin that acts younger, skin that's performing younger. So bakuchiol is good for, in a sense, everybody, right? Anybody who says, I want to get started with anti-aging. It's great for a 20-year-old, it's great for a 30-year-old. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people go, well, you don't need that until you're much older in life. I'm of Middle Eastern descent. My under eyes at the age of 21 look like an average Caucasian lady's under eyes at the age of 45. It's just because of my genetics. I can't change that. If somebody came up to me at the age of 21 and told you, I can make this area work more younger in a more youthful way, I would have been so thankful. Okay, now that's the beauty of bakuchiol. You can, because it's so gentle, you can essentially take it up into the orbital eye area. Don't take it close up to the eye. Up to the orbital bone, okay guys? Right there, up until the orbital bone. Just right where those crow's feet start, up to that bone. If you can feel it, take it up to it. Not anything under. There's nothing there to support the eye area. Wanna make sure I make that clear, because if somebody hears this, comes after me, I'm telling you now. Up to that orbital eye bone, okay? Same thing up here, up to that brow bone, you're good. So skin is just acting younger. You don't know who's out there. Like I know a girl, she is gorgeous. She's on Instagram, she's an influencer, and people don't tell you about their insecurities. One day I just kind of plugged in listening to her stories and she's talking about her marionette lines. And here I am thinking, girl, you've got like cheekbones for days. You have nice little plump cheeks. It gives you a little baby face. It's so cute. But that exact same thing is this girl's insecurity. So offer bakuchiol to anybody and everybody who's looking for skin that just acts younger. It's just, I mean, if you're worried about, well, will it be too active? Can their skin take it? Let me break it down to you this way. This is Retin-A. This is prescription strength. Then there's retinaldehyde, which is going to be medical grade. You can pick up at a spa. And then there's retinol, which you can pick up at a pharmacy, most websites. Okay. Then there's going to be like your beginner retinol, which a lot of people like a gentle retinol. We're like under that gentle retinol. Okay, so this is really safe. This is gonna work for a lot of people. Don't be afraid of this. This product also, I mean, for that person who was asking about, will C Radiance help with hyperpigmentation, dark spots? Bakuchiol will too, because your skin's, just transforming that much faster. It's talking that much more. Anytime you're like, well, what do you mean? Think of a little kid. They get a sunburn. How long does it last? How long does your sunburn last? There you go.
Wow. Okay. I like literally you guys. I think this is like the best training ever. Okay. It's sun sensitive, right? The
So there's two sides to it being like affected by the sun. Side one is because your skin is turning over that much more quickly, right? Fresher skin up top, all the dead skin cells go away by themselves, skin is perfect. You've got baby skin constantly at that top layer now. Okay, so we just want to be careful. If you're ever recommending Bakuchiol, you don't put that in the cart unless you're putting a sunscreen with it. Those two go together. I just automatically ask, if you're using Bakuchiol, I literally cannot sell it to you without a sunscreen. That's what I tell people. And if people go, no, I have a sunscreen that I love, perfect, I'll take it out. But I'm doing my duty by letting you know I cannot recommend a retinol product without a sunscreen. The second side of that is that sun breaks down the effects of retinol as well. That kind of goes into, when should I use it? The best time to use a vitamin A product, Bakuchiol, in our setup, is going to be at night. So I love to use it in my nighttime routine, and I tell people simplifies it as well. Sometimes in my nighttime routine, I'll just do cleanser, Bakuchiol, moisturizer. I'm done. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm regenerating. And in the morning, I'll be like, okay, well, I'm hydrating, I'm protecting, I'm doing this, I'm doing all the fancy stuff.
I love that. I just want to write that down. Hold on, guys.
Sorry. I know, I have so much to say. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm like loving it.
I'm gonna go through the questions in case I missed anything. A lot of people use Be Gentle at night and Be Balanced in the morning. Yeah, that could totally work. Oh, what is my Instagram? I just popped that in for anybody who's interested. Okay, let's go.
Okay, two last questions. I know everyone's like, this is like so good, but you're probably watching the time. So two last questions. How do each target step, how do they each interact with each other? And should you be using anything outside that we don't have, like another brand's blank?
Okay. Well, how do each target step work with each other? I like to break it down even further, because to me, that question, like if I just even think about it, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming. We have so many steps and they're so targeted. Ask yourself what you want. If your skin is asking for cleansing, focus on that. I mean, you as your own, like spa therapist, if you will. If you are taking your makeup off at the end of the night and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know why, I just look dirty, girl. Like, let's just get this going. Double cleanse. Go in with maybe a charcoal mask. Go in with maybe the berry scrub. Throw in a good little face massage, a little bit of vitamin C will give you a little bit of perkiness, moisturize, you're good to go. But if you're looking at your skin day in and day out and you're going, it's not the hydration, it's not me not exfoliating, I need something else, I need something a little bit deeper. Maybe you need a stronger AHA. Rewind. Okay, maybe you need Bakuchiol. Maybe it's really about your skin cells talking to each other. Another product that I haven't touched up on a lot, but it's actually a favorite of mine, I cannot imagine it not being in my like skincare arsenal, is Night Haven. So Night Haven, we all know, is a moisturizer in our skincare line, but I feel like it doesn't get enough love. It is an excellent moisturizer for skin that may be compromised. Okay, so what do we mean by that? Skin that is acne prone, believe it or not, it could work for, because it has things in it to strengthen the skin. If you think about acne prone skin, 99% of the face is doing great. It's just that 1 or 2% of areas where you have the acne. And that's where the skin's kind of like almost compromised. It might be dehydrated, it might be irritated. Having something a little more softer, nicer, kinder, it won't do you wrong. That moisturizer also has ceramides in it. So if you have a client that's more mature, looking to strengthen the skin, that's going to be excellent. If you have somebody that's going hardcore with the Rewind and they're going in with the bakuchiol, yes, recommend that Night Haven. Night Haven, I would recommend even for somebody with like normal combo oily skin. Just use the tiniest bit because your skin is regenerating. Okay, don't forget that. That's intense exfoliation. That's what AHAs are. That's what your Rewind serum is doing. If somebody's telling you, girl, I love that berry scrub, I use it like 3 times a week, just let them know. You know, you might want to look into the Night Haven. It will strengthen the barrier of your skin a little bit more. Just be careful with that. Going into winter, going into summer, sun exposure. Say what you need to say, but tag on a product, right?
And then was there any other product that you think outside of Monty that we're missing? Or I mean, of course we're going to develop, but I'm just saying that like a must have or something.
There are going to be products a lot of times that brands are going to be competing with in terms of the prescription world. Okay, so just the way we have bakuchiol, there's going to be somebody telling you I'm having amazing results using tretinoin, which is vitamin A, prescription strength. We can't compete with that. If you have somebody using a prescription strength vitamin A, don't even try like getting into that race. You're not going to win. Prescription strength is prescription strength. Similarly, if somebody's talking to you about fading dark spots, okay? Yes, we have our vitamin C. There are other ingredients out in the market pretty comparable to vitamin C, arbutin, kojic acid, things like that definitely come together to help lighten up the skin. But if they're using something prescription strength, once again, like a hydroquinone, which is essentially a facial lightener, you're not going to win. That's just a battle you're not going to win. And fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of times now you have these websites where you can go online, fill out a little questionnaire, and you have these doctors online prescribing you stuff. So if they're using things like Curology, if they're using something like, oh gosh, Apostrophe, or what's the other one? Gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue, starts with an M. Muesli. Muesli is really popular for hydroquinone. You're just not going to win that race. So there are going to be products, primarily all we're left with now is prescription strength, okay? You're just not going to win that race. What you can do is support it. So if you are using a prescription strength vitamin A, what kind of a moisturizer are you using? Have you found a sunscreen that you love? Because you know now from this conversation that if you're using bakuchiol, what are we putting with it? Sunscreen. So do you have a sunscreen that you like? Is it mineral? Does it give you broad spectrum coverage? Because you're going to need all that.
A question from what we were going with before, bakuchi oil, oh my gosh, and then Night Haven after that. So in that order.
So moisturizers always last. I don't care if you're doing Be Balanced, Be Purify, Be Gentle, Night Haven, moisturizer is always last. It's the last thing that's sealing it all in. And if you have extremely dry skin or live in a very extreme climate, you go on top of that with oil, okay? Just like we were talking about that meal, you want all the good stuff in first, dessert comes last. Bakuchiol is your good stuff, right? It's the stuff that's gonna make your skin talk to itself, act younger, more youthful. That goes in first, moisturizer on top, just like whipping cream.
And then, okay, final question, you guys. Refrigerating your products. Why not? All of the things. Like we have this mini fridge now. So it's like, do we need that? Tell me more.
Oh my gosh, I hate to say this, but it just feels nicer. Okay, there's no other reason. There's nothing scientific about it. It just feels better. Okay, like an eye cream that comes out of your mini fridge being presented to your client that's just worked a 13-hour day, and then you gently massage it in with our little eye roller going outward, inward, because you guys know we're not creating wrinkles, we're working against them. That'll sell you a product versus you just take out your eye cream and you slap it on. It's just one of those sensory things. There's no must have. Products, the way that they're formulated, how long they're gonna last. It's already built in. The preservatives and everything are all built in. It's not going to make something last longer. It's just about a cooling feel. That's primarily it.
I love it.
But if you do want to kind of do something cool before a meet Monat, a friend's coming over, guests are coming over, and you already know you're going to like slide that Monat stuff in, put all your rollers in the fridge or the freezer and keep your creams out. So anytime I have guests over, I'll already set out like all the skincare, like in the toiletry area, you know, just so you can try stuff out. And then if they mention anything, be like, oh my gosh, girl, no, hold on. And I'll go into the freezer and grab an applicator, be like, try this. So it's fancy.
Yeah, it makes it more fun and more enjoyable. I'm going to actually ask one more question because this is, I just realized as you were saying something, my biggest struggle is I look at myself in the mirror as I'm putting this stuff on and I'm like, you're giving yourself wrinkles. You're like pulling this way, doing that. So like in general, applicate, like what's the best? Are you always trying to go up? Like what is the, just to protect yourself and not harm your skin more when you're trying to take care of it?
So upwards is always great. Okay, we want to defy gravity. If you're massaging yourself upward, go upward, this way, that way. But it's one of those things. I mean, is there a science to massage? Is there a science to application? Yeah, absolutely. But if you're not doing it every day, is it going to make a difference? No. So ask yourself, what is it that you're doing every single day? Most of us, that's going to be cleansing at the very least. Let's hope. So with that, what I like to do is even when I'm cleansing, I'll work, I know I'm crazy, but I'll work in sections. So I'll do, let's say, one side of my face first, and I'll work bottom up instead of just going like this, okay? And, or if I'm putting on my moisturizer, after I'm done applying my moisturizer, I'll take a minute just to do this number, you know, grab your chin, pull it back. You guys can look up facial massages. You wanna be gentle. We're not tugging, we're not pulling, and here's the reality of stuff. No matter how much you scrub, no matter how much you massage, you can't change your face. Any sort of collagen changing, any sort of structural changing, it actually happens much further down below. So if you want to give your skin any sort of benefit, is to be gentle up there, get the products across. And if you want to maybe look into the art of facial massage, what it can do, how it can work out for you, then yeah, absolutely, you know, look into that. But use common sense. Like we kind of worked outward, inward with the eye cream. You know, little things like that. It might not make a deal one day, but imagine 30 years of a repetitive motion, okay? Or 30 years of somebody applying their moisturizer and then going right under their cheekbone and doing this sort of massage method right there. That cheekbone's just gonna look a little different, okay? So the smaller things do help. They're not gonna change anything drastically. Be gentle with your skin. Don't cause wrinkles. Don't cause wrinkles. We don't like wrinkles. Oh my gosh, no problem.
You guys, this wasn't this amazing. Like, oh my gosh. I don't even have the words, Oraiba. This is like, oh my gosh, thank you.
No, I am flattered. You guys have no idea. So I've been watching Lindsley like quietly for months now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so awesome. She does this, she does that. And then she sent me a message. And for a minute, I was like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me, not in the chat, but to me. That's a direct message. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys so much more. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything, just, you know, think about yourself, think about your own skincare routines. Do you guys have any personal questions? Because if you've done something or felt something about your skin, it's so much easier to relate to somebody. Like think about a dry scalp or think about hair loss. If you've gone through it, you can help somebody go through their journey, right? So if you guys have any personal questions too about skincare, like throw them down. My kids are like being watched right now. Like, I got this. We are good tonight. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet.
You can always unmute too if you guys have a question.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a good job covering so much.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
All right, so I have super oily skin, like so over, like it so overproduces oil. Like I have to be super careful with what I use. So I just got Be Purified today.
Okay.
Normally like Be Balanced works for me, but I don't feel like the moisturizer is enough. But like my skin's oily. So when Be Purified came out, I was like, oh, this could be the answer to everything. I haven't tried it yet because I literally just got it. So I don't know what to do for like super oily skin. Like it just like creates like oil slicks during the day.
Okay. Do you moisturize on a daily basis, morning and
Yes,
night?
morning and night. Yeah.
Okay. What do
Morning
you
and night.
use for your moisturizer?
So I will use Be Gentle in the morning and Be Balanced at night.
Okay.
And
So,
sometimes Night Haven. Sometimes Night Haven.
okay.
But I feel like the Be Balanced isn't moisturizing enough.
Oh,
But
okay.
then I also feel oily. So that's my like conundrum.
What kind of a climate do you live in?
I'm in the Northeast, so it's like
Humid, but dry.
humid in the summer, dry as heck right now.
Are you doing a lot of like going in and out of places, like
Mhm.
indicator outside in the cold, mostly inside?
Mostly inside. Yeah.
Do you, before your skin gets oily, do you feel like it's tight and stripped and maybe perfect?
Not if I wash it, when I wash it, sometimes I feel like it's too like tight.
Okay.
And then I'm like, oh my God, I need something on my skin immediately. Like
Okay.
that's what I feel like.
I feel like just listening to you that maybe you're in a dry environment. I would maybe consider one running a humidifier because it seems like, which from what you're telling me, your skin wants something lightweight. It wants some sort of comforting hydration. But if it doesn't get it immediately, it's saying, okay, oil, let's go, let's go, let's go. We got a job to do here, you know? I would ease it in. Start off with Be Balanced as your cleanser morning and night.
Okay.
Use your Be Purify as your moisturizer. See
Okay.
what that does. Maybe look into using a humidifier
Mhm.
and kind of monitor it that way. If you feel like that's okay for nighttime, but for the daytime, it's still, I need something else, go right in with the Be Purify cleanser. That might be it.
Okay. All right. Thank
So
you.
just like what I did with her, I have no idea. I don't know anything about Amy, right? So I have to try to figure out everything. Ask her what she's doing, what is working, what is not working, and then her environment. You know, if I just knew there was a woman in the Northeast, well, I'm imagining a woman shoveling snow because here I am in sunny California. Like, I don't know, right? You got to tell me. So same thing. I thought this was a great example as to almost act like you, like, even if that person's your best friend, act like you don't know anything. You know, like, how often do you go to the gym? Do you wash your face after you work out? Like, live life through their eyes. Because some people might be like, my skin's fine until noon, and maybe they work out at 11. And it's like, well, did you wash your face after? Like, did you do the Neutrogena wipe? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, that's what I would do. But I feel like your skin's pretty simple. It's just saying, give me something. If not, here I come. Anybody else? Any other questions?
I have a question. This is Gloria. You
Okay.
can't see me because I'm in the middle of doing my hair, and I promise you don't want to see it.
No, it's fine. Turn on your camera. It's totally fine. We're all the beauty business. It's good.
But listen, so here's my question. So my face, I know it's hormonal.
Okay.
The area you said that's hormonal, and my age, I'm assuming it is. So I don't get like breakouts where it's like, how could I put it? Like pimples, like where you can see them, but they're like underneath the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times my skin looked clear, and then around the monthly time, I could touch my chin and be like, ow, what is that? Like it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's something underneath it. You may not even see anything, but I know it's there. So I want to know like what's the best thing for that. And every once in a while, like one of them will like come to a head, and then I'm African American, by the way. And then it'll leave like a scar.
Okay.
They do come through. So I use wash and moisturizer.
Okay.
I use the Night Haven, and I think that's pretty much it. Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be like 1% of your skin. The other 99% of your skin, would you say it's pretty happy with your routine?
Yeah, 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 I would say so, yes.
Okay, so just by listening to you and the symptoms that you're telling me, it sounds like cystic acne. And cystic acne has a history of kind of working along with hormonal acne. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do to it in terms of parts that will carry. You can try to use a charcoal mask to try to bring it to a head, but that may or may not work. That might be a conversation for a dermatologist or maybe even your gynecologist to see what they would recommend. But if the other 99% of your skin is saying, hey, we're happy, that's the route I would go. You know, maybe even using the charcoal mask as a spot treatment here and there. But other than that, I don't think we would have a solution because it's something more deeper within the body.
Okay, I have another question. The bee purifying, that mask, is that what you're talking about?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
The bee purifying mask?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about? Does the bee purifying have a mask and a wash, or is just the mask and a moisturizer?
So the Be Purify line comes with its cleanser, a mask, and a moisturizer.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my gosh, no, absolutely.
Thank you so much for this. Like I only have words right now because I have not learned this much. It was just like when Lexi did her training on all the stuff. I was like, I have not learned this much in 4 years. Like, it's so good. Thank you so much.
Just ask questions, guys. Like, I fumbled with hair care because I didn't know. I'd be like messaging a person on our team. Her name's Beth, and I'd be like, I don't know anything. Please help me. Oh my gosh. So ask questions. Be that person that knows nothing. And one day you're going to be talking to Lindsay and she's going to be like, can you do a training? And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, I could totally do a training. So just ask questions. There's no stupid question. You will make mistakes and you will learn. I'll give you an example. I've been in skincare for a while and I did something really stupid. I ordered a bunch of Rewind samples and started handing them out. And I had a bunch of upset customers going, oh my God, my face is burning. What do I do? So I made that mistake as like a veteran in the skincare industry because I was just too excited about like, oh my gosh, Rewind can do this and that and the other. So you're gonna make mistakes. Just be careful as much as you possibly can and follow compliance. As long as you're doing those two things, you really can't mess up.
I agree. Well, thank you so much. You don't even know. Like the amount, like the way that you're excited, like I'm just as excited. Like you have no idea. And I'm sure everyone on here, everyone's smiling and is just agreeing with me. So this was so fantastic. We'll keep it forever. So we have it recorded.
And I threw my Instagram handle. I mean, if we don't get a chance to chat, ask Lindsay. If you have a question, please ask me. I don't mind talking to people. It's like one of those weird things where it's like, yeah, sure, you got a skincare question. Okay, we could do this and we could do that. And it's just a fun thing. So we can totally talk skincare and maybe I can ask you guys about hair care because I still am not very good at it. But yeah, thank you. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night.